Good morning, YouTube. It's an early Saturday morning. I'm trying to get this car running again as soon as possible after last night's screw up. So I did some digging last night trying to find out which is the correct ignition wire off of the ignition switch, and I may have a lead on something. Who knows at this point? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Sorry about the fuzziness. That's the humidity in the morning. So you see this white with pink stripe wire? It looks like it's been cut before and then it continues. Well, if we follow that, we follow it all the way down to this connector right here. But once it makes its transition through the connector, it turns into a red wire with a gray stripe. And we can sort of follow that down, but then it goes into the loom and we kind of lose it. Except there are two red and gray striped wires right here, which is from a connector I cut off yesterday. And you may be thinking, okay, but why is there two of them? Well, it looks like they join back together inside that connector. So they may just need to be, spliced together for this to work. But I am going to strip off this bit of wiring harness so we can expose these so that hopefully I can solder onto them, or at least twist them back together for my initial test. I can't find my razor blade. I bought these a while ago at I think Home Depot for like $5 for 100 razor blades. That's a good deal right there. Check it out. They come pre-rusted right out of the box. Oh, there's also a red and gray striped wire coming out of the... Oh, geez. Well, hopefully this is it. Red and gray striped wire coming out of the bypass that I made for the clutch switch, which would explain a lot. So let's see if I can just strip back these wires and make a connection between the two, and then see if it'll start. Early mornings are pretty nice here. It's quiet. The air conditioner's not running. It's pretty peaceful, actually. Do you think it'll be that simple? Man can dream. The other ones that were straight connected to each other were the two whites with red stripes. Should we do those right now too? Where's that going to? Oh, red and white striped. That one is going over to one of my main connectors. So yeah, let's do that right now. Which is also in this connector. Okay, I think that's it. Now we just need to plug in the battery and see if it works. Please keep your internet fingers crossed. Thank you everyone that sent me positive thoughts over the last evening. I was thinking already like, man, we did it, like we're screwed, we're gonna have to make this thing carbureted, but not anymore. One of my personal flaws is that I tend to give up too easily, and it's like, why am I doing this in the first place? One, because I love cars, and two, there's a problem and I need to fix it. Like, it was eating away at me all evening and in my sleep last night. So I was studying the wiring harness that I found online, and one of the ones that it pointed out was that pink wire with the stripes. So turns out that it was two wires together. So this is fantastic news. I'm glad we can continue now. Something else I learned last night when I was cutting, I wasn't filming when I cut off the connections that I needed to know which ones I cut off. So this time, let's film everything and I'll remove anything that's unnecessary. Lesson learned. I actually look forward to making this all look pretty once it's done. So some of these longer wires are running to the fuel pump harness, but a lot of them are no longer needed. So I've already trimmed off a few back here, so like this black and pink wire and orange and blue wire, you know, I can follow them back and they lead me to this connector, this main connector. I really like to get rid of that if I can. But before that, I'm going to plug in the battery and try starting it again to make sure everything that I just cut off in that last clip wasn't important. So that's a good sign as always. So back at the fuel pump, let's cut off some of these excess wires I don't think I'm using. Black and purple stripe, that's gone. The orange wire looks like I do not need, so that's gone. The green with the orange stripe, that's disconnected. So let's go back and see if it runs still. That's another good sign. So now I will simply follow all of those wires back to where they terminate and cut them off at the source. So what I think I just did was completely bypass the neutral safety switch. Maybe I'll tape it off and mark it as what it is, so I can use the one from the Miata in place of it so it still functions the way it's supposed to. But I just want to see if it starts now, just hot wired without the fuse. It should. Yep, no issue there. So next up we have this speed sensor wire, which is supposed to be for cruise control, I believe. I don't think I need that. So again, repeat the test, try and start the car, and no issues there. So again, here's two more lines that go all the way across the car, leaving us with only two coming out of that one connector. It's amazing how little you need to actually run this car. The last thing I'm going to do right now before breakfast is to take off this bit of tape, this sleeve that's running around here. If I could find the end. That's funny. Back to the trusty razor blade. Ouch. Look at all these wires we trimmed up. Now you can see how little wires we actually need out of just this one connector. I'm guessing at some point this whole connector is actually going to go, and we'll take all those wires out too. But that's where we're going to leave off for now. I'll check in a little bit.